Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving all honor, glory, infinite praise, and worship to our power. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elder bishops, great millstone, rule well, teach you on sound doctrine. Peace, citation to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children, that YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI have mercy on these perilous times, meaning dangerous times that we're currently living in. It's your brother HAQADASH representing GMS branch here in Cleveland, no willing to bring out an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. And the article says Trump signs order designating Antifa as a domestic T-era organization. Okay, a T-era organization. Now, let's see what. I'm gonna go to chat. Let's see what chat says. Type in what is Antifa. This is a foreshadowing. This is a foreshadowing of a future event that's going to happen because it's prophesied to happen. Antifa, short for anti-facet, refers to a loosely organized movement or network of activists who oppose fascism, white supremacy, racism, and far-right ideologies. It is not a single organization with centralized leadership or membership, but rather a collection of individuals and groups that share common goals and tactics. Okay? It says ideology, tactics known for direct action conclude. All right, so let's read some of this. Ideology: Antifa activists generally identify with leftist or far-left politics, including anarchism, socialism, anti-capitalism. Let's see its tactics. Let's see what tactics say. It says Antifa groups are known for direct action, protesting and disrupting far-right events or speakers, exposing or doxing white supremacists or hate group members. All right. It says physical confrontation in some cases, though this is controversial, graffiti, counter demonstrations, and online activism. See, that's a key one. Online activism. Let's see. What is online activism? Called digital activism or cyber activism is the use of the internet, social media, and digital tools to promote, support, or campaign for social, political, environmental, and economic change. So this is the point, and this is the foreshadowing that's being displayed with this group here. Okay, and again, it says graffiti, counter. This is what they're known for: online activism, protesting, right? And these are things that the Israelites do. And you got some more radical, I don't know if that's the right word, some more rowdy Israelite camps. All right, I'm gonna say all of them are like that, besides Great Millstone, because all these camps have unity camps. They in terms of marches. They have marches down the streets, and okay, they have these big events. That's what I meant, like with these unity camps. Like they had these big events at these venues and showcasing all this crazy shit, man. Some of them get into fights. They fight each other. You know, they fight civilians sometimes. The police, so forth, man. And what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna collectively group us all together. All right, they're gonna collectively group us all together, and we're gonna be blamed for your actions. because they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing on us. They don't have nothing on the members of Great Millstone when it comes to the demonization that they're gonna push in the public and push in the media. Now let's read this because clearly chat is not up to date. It says it's Antifa, a T-risk group, right? A T-era group. No government agency in the U.S. has officially designated Antifa as a T-era group. In fact, under U.S. law, you can't designate a domestic group as a T-era organization. Only foreign groups can be labeled that way. Make it interesting, making it even more interesting. Pushing, the international, situation. All right, making that prominent here in America, so that if anything is attacked, it's attacked from the view of immigrated point of view, of not belonging point of view. All right, foreign point of view, right? It says only foreign groups can be labeled that way. So they can push us in that category as well. That's what they're doing with the tribes, with the ICE, and Trump talking about, he's gonna intensify, the raids and different stuff like that, man. Pushing this whole foreign thing and labeling so-called foreigners, quote unquote, pushing them in the category of a T-era. However, Antifa has been a political talking point, with some politicians calling for such a designation, especially during periods of civil unrest. Let's see. So said goals of online activism: raise awareness, mobilize people for protests or actions, pressure the gov or corporations, educate the public, and fundraise for causes. All right. As you can see here, it says examples of online activism that made a difference. Arab Spring 2010 through 12, social media helped organize protests across the Middle East. Because, right, Esau said the internet was one of the worst things created, because it was going to reveal who he was. It was going to reveal the truth. Shit, the truth, who he was, who we are, who the Most High Yahweh is, who his son is, who the prophets are. It was going to reveal the truth, and social media is a part of the internet. It can reach one part of the world while being in another part of the world in real time, at the speed of light, night in, day in and night out, 24/7, never sleeps. It says Black Lives Matter. That's how you know it's a power. Okay, the modern day Yuma and Thummim that reveals answers. It's lights that reveals answers. That's what the Yuma and Thummim was. It would give you information based off your questions you ask. It would give you the answer. It would But it says it grew into in which the Yuma and Thummim was, stones, white black stones that would light up yes or no, or light up pertaining to different questions that the Levites who wore the stones, I believe, behind the breastplates, would light up and give the priest answers to give to the congregation. Excuse me. So, but it says Black Lives Matter 2013 grew into a global movement using Twitter, Instagram, and more. Me Too, I never heard of that. Sparked widespread conversations and consequences around abuse, sex abuse. Okay, so this is the point. Like, let me see if I can find this. It's not what I was about to click, but even this, it says DJ orders removal of photo of enslaved man scars and information about slavery from national parks. National parks are open to the public worldwide, and this shows you that they're trying to get out. They're trying to get rid of the truth that has been promoted in the earth and displayed in the earth. All right, they're trying to get rid of the truth. Okay, which this is truth. This happened. This is a real man. This is a real photo, and this is a real judgment. All right, upon him. This is a real event that happened, that took place by the man family that you see to the left, DJ Trump. And he's trying to remove truth out of the earth. Okay. And that's what it said on one of the things. It talked about online activism raises awareness. A lot of people ain't never seen that picture until they got onto the internet. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. Let me see. But yeah, man. So this is a foreshadowing event. See, here it is. Here, Trump, there's another article 3 days ago. Is no longer free speech. Okay. There was another one that they're targeting. Oh, that's the TikTok. You got the TikTok situation. All right. So that was with the TikTok. See, I believe they are coming to an agreement, or came to an agreement that if TikTok stays, it's going to be American based, and it's going to be a controlled algorithm. Because TikTok, it's a lot more you can say and put on the TikTok than any other app at the moment. See, TikTok sale puts apps algorithm in spotlights. Social media experts explains how the For You page works and what. Let's see. It says the algorithm. Let's start here. It says TikTok's For You page algorithm is widely considered the most important part of the app. Buying TikTok without the algorithm would be like buying a Ferrari without the engine. So algorithms' value lies in the uncanny capacity to anticipate users' content preferences. Many users claim it knows them better than they know themselves, a sentiment that has evolved into a curious mix of spiritual belief and conspiracy theorizing, as my colleagues and I have documented. Other scholars have similarly noted that users feel more intimately seen and known by TikTok's algorithm than those powering other popular platforms. But yeah, this is talking about some bullshit. But the point is that they're talking about the algorithm change, all right? And this is all dealing with the free speech. It says President Trump Friday reiterated his claim that critical television coverage of him is illegal, right? So this nigga is making draconian laws, man, harsh laws and judgments for the pettiest crimes or the pettiest things, all right? He said overly talking about him is illegal, but that's what you put into place. You the one that gave the people the illusion of First Amendment and freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Which they never really had freedom of speech at all. When 97% of the stories are bad about a person, it's no longer free speech. And I brought that out in my last lesson, dealing with Jimmy Kimmel and different things. Chat had pulled up some things which dictated certain things, right? You got to just watch the lesson. But which now is no longer free speech. It's other things being put into law. I just read to you that that is not supposed to be. It's not. They can't put these things into law. All right, unless what it just said, they can't put these things into law unless it's a foreign group. Okay, they can't deem. But this is what Trump said. Trump said that, and let's go back to the original point of the lesson. All right. Trump signs order designating Antifa as a domestic terror organization. We just read that he can't do that unless it's a foreign group. All right. And radical left-wing political violence for the shooting, saying it is directly responsible for the terror that we're seeing in our country today. And it must stop right now. No evidence has been presented linking the suspect to the CK. Okay. What this is going on, it says that says there is no domestic terror organization listed in U.S. There is mechanisms to declare foreign organizations terror organizations, and when that happens, there are legal mechanisms to hamper them, including such things as material support. But none of that exists domestically, and it doesn't appear there would be a way to apply that designation to Antifa. You see, but Trump just signed. He signed it into order, man. And the reason why I'm going into this, because this is a foreshadowing of what's to come for the prophets, man. Okay. I'm gonna just show you through the spirit. We'll go through the spirit. Is Revelations 2:10. It says, "Fear none of those things." This is red letter YAHAWASHI. "For none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is Esau, Edom, the one who's the president of the United States, and his line, his bloodline, his lineage, and everybody that look like him. Well, not more so looks, but the spirit. Right? Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So this is the prophecy that's going to happen to some of us, majority of us even, right? We're going to be cast into prison. 10 days represent a completed number of days until the Lord see fit. It's going to be a trial of our faith. I did a testimony in my wife's dream that happened to us because we didn't take the seer. They tricked us. We thought it was the elder. They used AI. So a trying of our faith is coming, bros. You know? So they're going to cast us into prison. Why? Why would something like that happen? Because why? Well, that's the first reason. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 70. "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection," meaning an uprising upon those that fear the Lord. That's number one reason, because we fear the Lord. So therefore, not only will the government come against us, but they're gonna get the people on their side. They're gonna convince the people that they're gonna convince the people to come against us. That's why it's gonna be an uprising against us. They're gonna blame us for the downfall of America. They're gonna blame us for this. which we are, because we're speaking the words of life, the words of YAHAWASHI, and it's causing an uproar in the world. It's causing the world to shake. The vibrations that's coming from our mouth. We ain't taking up arms. We ain't going out doing this and that. All we doing is just reading the word Bible and the words of the Bible that has been presented in America for X amount of years. We now have the understanding, and we're breaking these things down, and it became a problem because the truth would prevail. All right, and it was declared because it was so long without fruit, as it is written, and it was declared, and it's and it caused a shaking in the earth, man. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. They shall be tried as the gold in the fire. That's first. That's first and foremost. Yahushua said, is it Matthew 10? Bear with me. Yeah. Matthew 10 and 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Some of the first people that's going to turn on this is our families. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. You see? So we're going to be delivered up. This is the prophecy. Trump signs order designating Antifa as a domestic T-era organization. We're not Antifa. This is not nothing like that. I'm showing you that this is a foreshadowing event. Okay? If Trump can sign something into order about an organization that is in America that has nothing to do with what, based on per definition, right? Then he what do you think he's gonna do to us? You know what I'm saying? Because this is against his own left wing idiot of a family. This is Edomites, man. He put that list on Edomites, but it's showing you again, even Jimmy Kimmel, his show being canceled, whatever. Even if it wasn't really, if it was smoke and mirrors, the point is that even if it's acting, it still produced real results. It still produced real events. And that nigga is an Edomite too, right? If I'm not mistaken. So the point is that, like Trump, you know, he was on trial and all this. Hey, they're showing you that, hey, they're doing this to the top of that's in the society. How much more you niggas, man? You know, how much more you niggas, man? So this is a foreshadowing event for this devil. This is a part of his great wrath, coming down with great wrath, because he know he have a short time, signing all these things into orders. These executive order, I'm gonna show you. An executive order is an official directive issued by the president or governor of the state that manages operations of government. But there you go. Needs Congress approval? No, executive orders do not require approval from Congress. You see? So these are executive orders that don't need Congress vote to be passed, you know. So yeah, it just said that Congress have the right to stop it or overturn it if they wanted to. So you got to ask yourself, well, why didn't they overturn any of the madness that's been put out so far? So this, like it says, I am pleased to inform our many U.S. patriots that I am designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major T-era organization, and I will also be strongly recommended that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Okay, so and they're gonna place us all in the same category because they're gonna use this as a means of a threat unto them and their movement, what they're doing on the right. They call it themselves the right wing on the right hand side, right, and so forth. You know, any groups in America, and they're gonna consider us a group or organization, whatever, right? And this is the point. This is the start of the famine of the word. This is the start of the demonization and the persecution of the prophets and the saints, man. Okay. I typed in Google, men of the Lord looked at as enemies of the state. It says it's AI overview. I'm gonna just read this real quick. The statement, men of the Lord looked at as enemies of the state, like refers to a quote by Henry David Thoreau and it's essay Civil Disobedience. Okay, and that's what they're gonna label us as, civil disobedience. Originally resistance to civil government, where he observes that a very few as heroes, patriots, martyrs, reformers serve the state with their consciences also, and so necessarily resist it for the most part, and they are commonly treated as enemies by it. This idea reflects the experience of early Christians persecuted by the Roman state, and this is Rome all over again. The plight of Old Testament prophets who faced opposition for delivering YAHAWASHI's message, and the general principle that when individuals follow their conscience or higher moral laws, which are the laws of the whole world, but you know, Esau has convinced you otherwise, these are the laws of life, they may conflict with governmental authority and be viewed as enemies. And that's what it does. It is contrary. It conflicts with, it's conflicting. This is Wisdom of Solomon 2. And 12 started 12. 11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And look, that's the crazy part, because they don't execute true judgment and justice. You know, we do. They don't know balance. It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Right, we're different, man. It says, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. And that's what ultimately we coming doing. We coming against their agenda, which is the controlling the mind of the people and ultimately controlling their spirits. You see, controlling them, controlling us, you know, taking another man's woman, you know. We belong to YAHAWASHI, fool. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of YAHAWASHI. We got the knowledge of the Most High. You see, so it says their conscience or higher moral laws, they may conflict with governmental authority and be viewed as enemies. So because we profess that we have the knowledge of Yahweh, it turned these people up into it turned them to some crazy. This, you know, just like they did with Yahawah was, you know, they was mocking him and all that, but he told them that he's the Son of Man. He had the knowledge of the Father, and they fucking went crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga balling down there about to have a heart attack, pulling his hair out and shit. And this is what's going on in the world right now. Esau Edom is doing the same thing as the wicked scribes and Pharisees. He was made to reprove our thoughts. That's the knowledge of the Most High. That's how we're able to do these things. And he is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstained from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. And what they're going to do, it says, and that's what we're doing. We're boasting in the Most High. We're doing that by we're boasting in the Most High by doing these epistles and standing on the street corners preaching and teaching. All right, our actions boast in the Lord. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. See? It says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Esau always tempt the Lord, man. Remember Yahushua told Satan on the mount, he said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord. You see? Satan was trying to get him to do different things because who he was and so forth. Hey, that's what Esau do, man. That's how you know he's the child of Satan. He's the son of Satan, man. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies, right? Torturing us and trying to do certain things to us just to see if the Lord, he tempted the Lord, man. It says, let us examine him with despitefulness. This is how. And torture. Right, shameful spewing on our names at the proverbs and bywords, but you see it's coming back on him. Shameful spewing is coming upon him, right? The nations that they come from is ashamed of them, as the scriptures say. I forget how it's actually worded, but for the just man be the son of Yahawah, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. You see? Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own sin he should be respected. You see, this is what they're trying to do. That's a mock. Okay? So, it says, let us condemn them with a shameful death. And that's hanging from a tree and all this weird shit. They're trying to put us in that light. For by his own sayings he should be respected. They're trying to, they mocking us. Because we will be put at top, because it is written. And Yahawashi is at the top. So we're his bride, and we're going to be joint heirs with Yahawashi. You see? Can't help but respect it, but it says, let us condemn with a shameful death. And this is what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And despite that, it says precious. It's talk about the death. Damn, Shalakia. Like, the men of the Lord, being unalive for YAHWASHI, precious in the eyes of the Lord is the death of his saints. Roughly paraphrasing. I know I butchered that, but Shalakia. So again, man, not to beat a dead horse, but conscious, or it says, their conscious or higher moral laws, they may conflict with governmental authority and be viewed as enemies. What is? Men of the Lord. It says, let me see. And that's a spirit, because I was going to say that. That's what we teach. That's what we preach. This kingdom is not ours. All right, this is not, it's not of this world. Yahawashi kingdom is not of this world. Things like that. We're teaching the same message in which Yahawashi was preaching. So they're going to deem us as outsiders, man. Oh, they're not for us. They're not with us, because we're not. It says prophets like Isaiah often delivered messages that challenged. Challenged the political and spiritual status quo, leading to conflict and opposition from both the nation of Israel and surrounding peoples who viewed them as threats. See? You see? So there you have it, man. So there you have it. So Lord willing, is edifying. Again, Trump signs order doesn't. I use this because it's a foreshadowing thing. If you don't know what foreshadowing is, foreshadowing is a literary literary device that gives hints or clues about what will happen later in the story. And this is the Lord's story. This is YAHAWASHI's movie, his story, their story. Foreshadowing is when the author drops subtle or obvious hints early in the story to suggest or prepare the reader for future events, especially dramatic or significant ones. Right? There you go. So this is symbolic. This is a foreshadowing event. Because this is how he's showing you that he has the power to dictate laws and to dictate the mind of the people. And he's gonna do just that, especially against the men of the Lord. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, went longer than I wanted to, but it's all good. I want to give all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace citation to the hopeful elect. Soon, it will be illegal to speak how we speak and to teach how we teach. And the devil is going to come down with great wrath, and he's going to come against us because he's going to deem us as an enemy of the state. Shalom.